boy Season Vet. I got another little mini scheme for you. It's out of formation nickel 3D ends. The play is called odd linebacker dogs. I'm going to show you how to bring a left C gap, right C gap, and double C gap heat. You can also run this out of the nickel wide, nickel 9 wide. I run that formation if I'm using Denver Broncos playbook. It also works if you're running like a Green Bay, Cleveland, Arizona. I'm not sure if Arizona has it, but it's a 2-4-5 DT D tackle. You can also run it out of that formation. If you run it out of the 2-4-5 D tackle to get your contains to work, I'll show you in a minute. You actually will have to, for instance, you'll have to, this guy, his contain would be like that, and if you run the 2-4-5 D tackle, you would have to shift him to the right, both D tackles, so you would do it for both. But for this formation, you don't have to do that. Only thing is, this guy here, he stands up, and sometimes he may get caught running back in, which will throw the blitz off, but it doesn't happen a whole lot. So anyhow, let's go ahead and, since we already got him containing, we'll go ahead and start with the double C gap heat. All you need to do is spread your defensive line, contain both D tackles. That's it. Now I mix this in with a lot of zone and max coverage, so sometimes I can get away, excuse me, with bump and run. If there's some speedsters out there, you definitely want to do that, like Mike Wallace, Deshaun Jackson. You definitely will get burnt. If I do bump and run, sometimes I may disguise coverage at this point just to make it look like I'm bump and running, have him retreating coverage. I also will put Thomas in a deep blue. I'm not worried about the running back. Either he's going to block or get something quick. Otherwise, it's going to be a sack. So let's go and check out the double C gap heat. Now again, this is practice mode. If you see over there Clemens on the left side, let's go ahead and take a look at the instant replay real quick. Only because this is practice mode, he didn't get in clean over here on the left side of the field. That won't happen in gameplay. They'll both come screaming off of that edge. So let's go ahead and set up one more time. Spread your defensive line, contain both D tackles, and that's it. Now what I didn't do was block the running back. So let me go ahead and block the running back. I'll do aggressive block just to show you it takes 7 to pick this blitz up. Obviously, I'm not blocking anyone because I just want the blitz to be effective and showing you what I'm doing. I'm sure somebody's going to say the running back was wide open or you didn't block, but that's not the point of the vid. The point of the vid is just to show you that the blitz worked and you make your adjustments accordingly, okay? So now I'm blocking the running back, aggressive block, and I still get left C gap heat, okay? Okay, now go ahead and show you how to generate the left C gap heat. Something I want to point out, I typically I don't even bring left or right, honestly. If I'm blitzing out of this, it's because I've showed a lot of max coverage. Some call it fag D throughout the game. When I blitz, it's kind of unexpected on 3rd and long. I don't care if they know I am bringing the heat. It's most likely it's going to get there. Only way they can block it, again, is if they block 7. So let's go ahead to set the left C gap heat. All we need to do is spread our defensive line, contain both D tackles, and then zone your left defensive end in any zone you want. Also, I want to point out, look at the contains. They do a pretty good job at slowing down the halfback screens initially. It takes away that quick read by you trying to get there if you're using whoever's covering the running back. If they run the halfback draw or mid or the zone up the middle, those blitzing LBs kind of sometimes force your opponent to go outside where we have a little better run support. I'm not saying by any means this is a run defense. I'm just saying it's decent. But if I'm running this, it's pretty much passing down. Sometimes I can get away depending on my opponent, whether or not if he's smart and adjust and try to hit me up the middle with runs. If he's continuing to go outside with runs or continuing to pass, then I'll stay in this formation all game pretty much, mixing it up here and there. So with that said, let's go ahead and generate the left C gap heat. Again, because it's practice mode, he takes that weird angle because of that tackle stepping out there. I promise you, in gameplay, he will get in clean. Set up one more time, spread our defensive line, contain both D tackles, and then any zone you want on Irvin. You can bump and run if you want. If you feel like you can get there in time, I wouldn't bump and run, bringing just one side though. Double C gap, I would probably bump and run, and I have zone defense that I'm mixing as well as the disguise coverage. Again, if there's speedsters out there, don't do this. You're going to get torched. Also, don't forget to pass commit and see if we can get the left C gap heat. Of course, he takes the longest angle because it's practice mode, so that's expected. So that's your left C gap. Okay, let's go ahead and set up the right C gap heat. To do this, all you need to do is spread your defensive line. You can zone Clemens. I like to put him in the hook just for the simple fact. If you're playing a good player, he's quick read. If he sees that linebacker blitz, he's probably going to hit you with something quick over the middle. So in that case, I'll hook him, spy your defensive tackle number 2, contain your defensive tackle number 1, and user who's ever covering the running back. Again, if your opponent is, if he's running trips to the right side of the field, you want to flip this. Excuse me. Before you come out, if he's constantly running trips and you're pretty confident he's going to run it, go ahead and flip it at the play call screen. That way your nickel back is on the right side of the field, and those trips will be covered. Otherwise, whoever holding the inside slot guy, he would be lined up where Thomas is right now, and he'll be open initially, so you don't want that. Okay? So go down and see if we can get right C-gap heat. Of course, he gets tripped up. That's only because it's practice mode. Let me go ahead and re-blitz him this time just to see if we can make it work. Spread out defensive line, zone our right defensive end, spy work, contain your tackle number 2, contain your defensive tackle number 1. Now I'm going to re-blitz Irvin just because this is practice mode and he keeps getting tripped up. He'll come off clean in the game, I guarantee you, just like that. Okay? Okay, I'll show you some of the ways I like to run my match coverage. I know a lot of you don't need help with match coverage. Probably all of you don't, but I just at least want to show you some of the things that I like to do out of this play. If my opponent is not running like outs or curls, what I'll do is I like to put these guys in buzz. They have excellent run support when they enter the blue zone, and then I may spy my two defensive tackles. You can put him in the zone if you want, or leave him rushing, and eventually one of the guys on the edge, they will get to the quarterback or force him to throw. If you want more coverage, you can put them in the zone. It's your preference. It doesn't really matter. Contain zone or leave them rushing. Just a matter of mixing it up and trying to keep my opponent guessing. So, again, this is what I would run if they don't attack the outside as far as the curls. You see how they, because of that blitzing angle that he comes in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the instant replay. Because of the blitzing angle Clemens is on, he's able to shed that block over there. Pretty sure that's what happened. Yep, went underneath. So that'll happen a lot of times. Yeah, somebody was coming open across the middle, but you should be using someone trying to help hold it down, buying yourself time, or until your opponent forces it and throw you a pick. So now let me show you what I like to do against people who constantly throws the out routes and curl routes. Obviously, I'm going to put both of my defensive ends in buzzes. Okay, to play the outs and the curls. And actually, I like to hook this guy. I hook the D tackle if I'm going to leave the linebacker on his side blitzing. Reason being, again, if they see that LB blitzing, they might throw something quick thinking I'm blitzing, but then little do they know I have a defensive tackle dropping back in coverage, and hopefully he'll get a pick, break it up or whatever. Then I'll spy this guy, okay? So this is my typical match coverage that I like to run out of this. Okay, now I'm not really going to get good pressure because I have an LB coming. He wasn't really coming off the side, but you definitely will be able to feel the pressure. He won't get there. That really probably won't hardly ever get there, to be honest with you. We just hope that we can force him into throwing something. And so that's the nickel 3D and odd LB dogs. If you like, man, go ahead, show us some love, like, subscribe. Back in the lab looking for new things, trying to be a little creative that time of season where I get bored. So again, like, subscribe, show some love, man. I'm definitely gonna keep them coming. Peace.